plan for today's dinner was to track down some cuy, which is like a grilled guinea pig. However, we ran into some trouble. The first restaurant was closed, and the second one is not able to prepare it mid-afternoon because they're making bread in their oven. So instead today we're going to be trying some traditional food from Cusco. So we've placed our order and we're waiting for our food to arrive. Not entirely sure what to expect because I've never really tried food from this region. We've been eating light meals since we got to Cusco just because we're trying to deal with the altitude sickness. So yeah, this is our first day that we're ready for a big hearty meal. So until the meal arrives, you've got some nice bread rolls in your hand.
Yeah, these were freshly baked in the oven and I can't wait to try them. We have two different kinds of spicy sauces. They're both called ají sauces. So let's take a look down here and we're gonna dunk it in. Actually, there's spoons, so I can do it a little more civilized, I suppose. And I will put a bit of red and a bit of green. Why not? Let's try that.
Is that burning your mouth? Is your mouth on fire at the moment?
I'm tasting more of the sauce in the bread, but the bread is good. It's melting in my mouth.
And it was made in the oven right behind you.
Right over there.
Right over there.
Fancy.
So my meal has arrived. I ordered a soup and I'm having something called chairo cusqueño. And if you have a look down over here, it's basically a soup with lamb and Andean grains. I'm not sure what kind of grains those would be. Kind of looks like barley. There might be some quinoa in there. I don't really know, but it's really hearty and you can see it has potatoes and carrots and celery and it looks really, really good. So let's try it. Oh wow. That's like a nice, thick, flavorful soup. Can't really tell what these little green leaves are. I wonder if it's parsley or cilantro. But it's really nice. I like that it has a thick texture because of the potato that breaks apart, and then you obviously have the grains and the meat. I still haven't tried the meat. Here's my lamb. So yeah, that is really nice. It's the kind of dish you want to order on a really cold day to warm you up. I like that it's served in a nice cute little bowl. You can warm up your hands. I'm a little bit chilly in case you can't tell. So yeah, good soup. And you ordered something called pachapapa, and we're not entirely sure if that's the name that the restaurant gave to the meal or if that's really what the meal is called in this in this part of Peru.
We have no idea. We just came to this restaurant, ordered it on a whim, and so what I'm thrilled about is if we take a look at my plate, is that I've got a lot of different stuff going on. I've got a salad, I've got the meat, I've got the tamale, I've got potatoes covered in cheese, and I have some kind of stuffed pepper. But being the carnivore that I am, I think I will try the meat first. And
can you tell us what kind of meat this is? Because it's not beef.
Yeah. It is alpaca meat.
Alpaca, indeed.
Yeah. So, pretty special.
Dig in. I've never tried alpaca before. Does it taste like beef? Chicken or fish?
It tastes something like kind of in between chicken and beef. This particular cut is really tender and has a lot of seasonings on it, so it's quite good. It's not as gamey as I thought it would be. Alright, time to try my tamale.
And the tamale is made with corn, yellow corn. What's in there? What's in there?
That's one of the best tamales I've ever had. I think it's got
cheese?
it's got cheese in there.
Oh my, I'm getting food envy all of a sudden.
So good. You better hope I share with you.
Okay, so my kind husband is willing to share the stuffed pepper, which I was told has beef and vegetables and melted cheese on top. So let's take a good chunk since he's in the mood to share.
It's not so much I'm in the mood to share, I'm just not sure if I can eat it all myself.
That's like ground beef. And man, that's actually spicy. My tongue is on fire right now. But it's tasty, obviously, because I'm still chewing. Yeah, nice. I like that you have a very full plate and you get to sample a little bit of everything.
So we tried to make this as authentic of a meal in Cusco as we possibly could. So I got my Cusqueña beer. And tomorrow we're gonna try to find cuy.
Today's lunch in Lima, we are going to be having chifa, and that's basically Chinese food with a Peruvian twist. So you know how we always visit a country, maybe even Canada or the US, and you go to a Chinese buffet and you're like, this is delicious. And then you go to China and you can't find any of the dishes you've had at a Chinese buffet? That's because Chinese food really varies from one country to the next because people incorporate, their spices and their cooking styles. So Peruvian Chinese food is quite distinct. We're going to be eating chifa, which literally means to eat rice. So yeah, we've ordered a lot of food that's going to be coming soon, and it should be interesting. Peruvian Chinese food.
So our appetizers have arrived.
They sure have, and I'm just dividing up the wonton soup. We got chicken wontons. Actually, no. We have pieces of chicken here. I'm not sure what's inside the wontons. That's going to be a surprise.
So
but yeah.
It's chicken plus wontons.
Yeah, we're sharing because we've ordered a lot of food, and I have a feeling I may not be able to finish all of this myself. Ooh. And it just keeps arriving. These are just appetizers. Okay, so Sam is going to begin with the wonton soup over there.
And if there's one dish that we always tend to order when we get Chinese food, basically anywhere in the world, is if wonton soup is on the menu, we're ordering it. So can't wait to try this. Fans. These are huge wontons.
That's a huge noodle. It's like spilling over the spoon.
Yeah.
Don't burn yourself.
Yeah, that's a good wonton.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm guessing the filling may have some pork and a little bit of vegetables inside of it.
Yeah, and the soup has lots of slices of chicken.
Yes.
Want to show us those?
Check out this. Big slices of chicken too. This is going to be a good meal.
So I'm still working on my wonton soup. And as you can probably tell, I added lots of soy sauce to make it a little bit more salty. And another cool thing, I've never had wonton soup with cabbage. This has some big leafy cabbage in here.
Show some of that cabbage. Oh wow.
I'm trying to lift it in my spoon. Look at all that. Ooh.
Massive.
Yeah. So time for appetizers.
Yes, so I am trying the deep fried spring rolls. And these come with a unique, I think this is kind of like a lemon sauce.
Yeah.
And what's pretty cool about these is that they have chicken and vegetables inside. So let's try them. Wow. I've never had spring rolls with a lemon sauce, and I have to say I like it even more than like a soy or a plum sauce. This is really adds a lot of tang and sourness to it. And what's awesome about these is that you can tell that they've been like just freshly made. Like they're so crispy, piping hot, and they're just amazing. This is really tasty.
And let's see, what else do you have here? What are these?
Because if our wonton soup wasn't enough, we also got deep fried wontons. So yeah, and this comes in a red sauce, and this is much thicker. This is gonna be, I have a feeling this is gonna be maybe a little bit sweet and sour.
So crispy.
So crispy, so good. And that sauce really makes it. And I can taste the beef in here too. Yum, 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 yum.
Making our way over to the main.
Yes, this is called the chancho kruyok, or as we call it in English, sweet and sour breaded pork. And this was the must-have dish that I insisted on us ordering.
Yeah.
So basically it comes in a sweet and sour sauce. The pork has been breaded, And what's unique about this one here is that, yes, it sometimes comes with pineapple, but over at this restaurant, it comes with peach as well. So I've got a piece of pineapple and peach.
And look at the sesame seeds on them.
Yeah. All right, time to try
Amazing.
that. So I'm trying that with peach. I'm just gonna. That's awesome. That is one of my favorite Chinese dishes anywhere in the world. You do it really well here in Peru with the Chifa style. It's just so sweet, so sour, and then to have that extra bit of fruit added really adds an extra element of juiciness. Just delicious. Okay, next up we've got a breaded chicken dish.
Yes.
What's that one called?
So this one is Chi Jiao Kai, and I'm starting to get full already, but we're just starting on the main, so making room. Big piece. Okay. Yeah, so it's like a breaded chicken, kind of like with a chop suey sauce. It's very light. It doesn't have a strong flavor, and it's kind of a thicker sauce as well. And I do like it. You can really taste the chicken, the fried breaded chicken. So yeah, I think this is a type of dish that works for most people, you know, easy to like. If you like fried chicken, you're probably gonna like this. So next up,
and no chifa meal would be complete without fried rice. So we have something called chaufa de pollo. And here's the pollo. You can see the pieces of chicken. So that's good.
yeah.
Oh yeah. You can really taste the chicken. There's also a bit of fried egg and a little bit of spring onions cut up in there too.
Let's have a closer look at that.
So
You can see all of the ingredients in there.
And it's really nice having this rice because you can like put it onto your plate, and then if you're adding these other dishes, it helps like sop up the sauce. And that's my favorite part.
And of course, no meal at a Chinese restaurant would be complete without a pot of tea to help you digest all of it. That's jasmine tea. I just asked for tea, I didn't specify, but this is great.
That's awesome. Because, you know, Chinese food and chifa tends to be quite greasy.
Yes.
And this really helps to aid with the digestion.
All right, so what did you think of Chifa, Chinese food in Peru?
Absolutely loved it. Love Chinese Peruvian food. I think it's some of the best Chinese food I've ever had anywhere. And it has a very strong influence. There was a lot of Chinese immigrants who came from the province of Guangdong, and they brought their cuisine over here. And over time, it's become a fusion cuisine with Peruvian influences. So I absolutely love it. And here's a fun fact. In Lima alone, there's over 6,000 chifa restaurants.
Yeah.
So anywhere you are in the city, you can get chifa. Obviously, one of the best places to get chifa is Chinatown, but you can be anywhere in the city. We're having our meal here in Miraflores, so you can be anywhere in Lima and you can find yourself some awesome, authentic Chinese Peruvian food.
And you know what? I think the food beat us. We may have ordered a bit too much.
Oh yeah.
We still have some leftovers.
We're gonna have some dinner, some dinner to take home.
So it is now time for price point. How much was all that food?
Yeah, so that came to 101 soles. So not the cheapest meal, but when you consider how much we ordered and that we're basically taking home our dinner, not too bad of a value. It's still under 30 US dollars for all of that food. And what we're gonna do is, because since we ordered so much food, we are gonna put the description of the food right at the end of this video. So we'll see you for our next time.
And here's our takeout, our takeaway.
We'll see you next time for another Peruvian food video.
Looks familiar, it's because we've made a video here once before, and to be honest, we come to this restaurant pretty often whenever we're in Lima. This place is called Punto, Azul, and they make a delicious ceviche and some pretty tasty dishes that we're going to be sampling today. We're actually ordering all of our favorite dishes at this restaurant, so it should be a tasty meal.
So as Audrey mentioned, we're going all out. We're getting literally everything we want here. So we've got chicha morada in the base. That's enough for the two of us. That's the purple corn drink.
Yeah.
Yes, delicious, refreshing, sweet. And then my personal favorite beer in Peru, Cusqueña. And I was drinking that quite a bit in Cuzco earlier on in the year, and it's nice to be back in Lima and having a nice ice cold Cusqueña again.
Right here is ganchita, and it's a nice little snack you can enjoy before your meal. Look at the size of those kernels. They are pretty massive, nice and crispy. Good stuff. I'm also drinking my chicha. I added a little bit of lime, so now it's nice and sour. We're starting with an appetizer, and today we're having conchitas a la parmesana. Take a look over here, and just look at this thing of beauty. Ooh la la.
Oh, these are so good.
And they're served in their shell. That's pretty cool. And lots of Parmesan cheese on there. We just squeezed on a little bit of lime. There we go. All in one bite. That is so good. The scallop is super tender, and the cheese explosion in your mouth.
So I don't know if you remember this, Audrey, but it was actually your grandma who introduced us to this dish here.
Yes.
She was the one who ordered this appetizer for the two of us and my parents a few months ago. So we've become big fans.
Big fans of scallops. He says.
The scallop is so juicy, and then when you have that salty, like thick melted cheese over top, it's just amazing. Like, this is just such a tasty appetizer.
I order the exact same thing every time I come to Punto Azul ceviche, and that has just arrived over here. This is just the classic ceviche. It's only fish, no other seafood in there, and we've got our red onions. I also asked for it spicy, so you can see the red peppers here. It's kind of been crushed, but you still get some big chunks. You have your sweet potato, fresh corn, and of course the tiger's milk, which is basically like a lemon base that helps cure the fish. So yeah, this is my absolute favorite. I never get sick of ceviche. My mouth just waters thinking about it. Oh my gosh. So let's dig in. Let's try it. Let's grab some onions in there as well. Oh, it's just so good. Wow. I just love all the flavors in your mouth. Like, it's so sour and tart, but then you've got your sweet potato to kind of help balance that. It's just perfection.
The perfect meal in Lima.
Hands down, my favorite Peruvian dish. Love it. And now it's time for your favorite.
Yes, and you can't come to Punto Azul and not indulge in the seafood, but I'm trying something that's kind of unique to here, and that is the shrimp cheese risotto. And guys, this is to die for. Like,
look at that.
You can't look at how cheesy that is. I'm grabbing a nice big shrimp here.
So creamy.
So creamy. This rivals the risottos you find in Italy. I kid you not. I kid you not.
Italy.
Just so cheesy. And then you have the shrimp, and then you have all the different seasonings. Like, to me, this is my favorite dish in Lima right now.
I don't think you got a shrimp. Let's grab an even bigger one.
Yes, I did, but I'm getting a bigger one this time.
Awesome. Now let's talk about this cheesy thing you've got going on here.
Yeah, it's just a big chunk of hardened cheese.
Are you using it as a cracker?
Yeah, I'm using it as a cracker.
It's basically just shredded, golden, crispy cheese.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh, yeah. So I finished all my ceviche and Sam has taken over my plate. Can you tell us why?
I am in charge of finishing up the tiger's milk, the leche de tigre, and that's not a bad job to have.
We're stuffed, but we couldn't resist getting dessert. So if you have a look over here, we are having merengado de chirimoya. So this is the meringue you see right here. This brown sauce is manjar blanco, which is similar to dulce de leche. It's kind of like a caramel. And then the chirimoya is a fruit. It's a white fleshy fruit, which is completely covered in whipped cream and manjar blanco. So it's kind of hard to see it, but it's absolutely delicious. This is one of my favorite Peruvian desserts. Look at that. That's so good. Like, the fruit has very soft and subtle flavor. It's not overpowering. It's just fleshy and kind of appley and sweet, but not too sweet. So you mostly just taste the manjar blanco and the sugar in the meringue. And I'll admit, it's a bit of an odd consistency and it doesn't look the most appetizing once you've dug into the cup. But it's a really good dessert. You really should try it when you're in Lima. So was that a satisfying meal or what?
Oh man, that epic feast finally ended. And now it's time for price point. So that came to just under 140 soles. So that was less than $40 US per person. And that included our chicha morada, our beer, our appetizer, our two mains, and a dessert. So not bad value. And if there's a tip I want to tell you, it's to come to this restaurant early. If we had have gone 30 minutes later, we would have been waiting outside with about 20 or 30 others.
So for today's meal, we are going to be trying something that's called Lomo Saltado. This is often translated as a jumping steak, but really it's a stir-fried steak, and it's one of those traditional dishes you can find just about anywhere in Peru. So yeah, we're going to be sampling that. We're actually sharing the plate. I hope it's a big portion because we've been walking around for a long time. We're pretty tired and we're hungry. So are you feeling more tired, more hungry, or just plain hangry?
All of the above.
Yeah.
So today is one of those days that just isn't going the way that we anticipated. So we ended up walking to a restaurant that specialized in ricotta relleno, but it was closed.
Yeah.
And we researched this on Google, but we didn't realize that the restaurant had just changed its hours to a different season.
Yeah, so that was really disappointing, especially because we walked like 45 minutes in the heat.
Yes, but anyways, we're trying to salvage the situation. We just found this place. We're walking down a busy street, and we're thinking like, yeah, why not? Let's go film a Lomo Saltado video. We haven't filmed this yet, so here we are.
The food is here.
Yeah, you know what? Put food in front of me and my mood can change instantly.
Feeling a lot better, hey?
Feeling a lot better suddenly. So let's take a tour of the plate here and we'll show you what we have. So basically, this is the sirloin steak strips here.
Yeah.
So you can see that. And this is entirely a stir fry. You have your onion, which is very typical as well.
Red onion.
And then you also have your peppers and your tomatoes as well.
That looks good.
And it's typically served with French fries and also rice. So looks like we've got everything in the classic Lomo Saltado. Now it's time to dig in.
All right, hungry boy, get to it.
So I'm gonna grab a piece of meat. I'm gonna grab an onion and a French fry, if I can.
It's gonna be a big bite.
It's a big bite. Whoops. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tasty. I'm a real big fan of stir fries just in general. So this is an awesome food. This is one of the most popular foods in all of Peru, and you can see why. It's delicious. It's easy to prepare, and it tastes really great.
So even though this is considered to be a Peruvian dish, it actually has Chifa origins, and that means it has Chinese roots. So it's kind of like a fusion between Chinese food and Peruvian food. And if you look down here, we have the beef, and this is marinated in vinegar, soy sauce, and spices. So you can see the Chinese influence there.
Yeah,
they're super tasty.
The other cool thing that we read was that it's cooked in a wok.
Yeah.
And that the other Chinese influence is that it comes with rice. But the Peruvian influence is that it comes with, of course, the potatoes.
Because they've got like thousands of potatoes in this country.
Yes.
So many different varieties.
So it really is the ultimate fusion dish. And do you like it?
Really good. Okay, so now it's time for price point.
Yes, so this was 16 soles, so less than $5 US, and it was enough for the two of us to share, so pretty good value. And something that's really cool about Lima, I've only seen this in a few cities around the world, such as like New York, and what's really cool about Lima is that you can kind of just pop into any restaurant and get a decent meal. Like Lima is such a foodie city that you could not be in business, you could not have a restaurant if you didn't serve at least something decent. So we winged this video. We came in and grabbed Lomo Saltado in a restaurant we've never had before, and yet we had a really good meal. So that is kind of the Lima eating experience, the classic Lima eating experience. You go out, you order something, and it tends to be good most of the time.
So it is time for another lunch video here in Lima. Today we're filming downtown. So we popped into one of the few restaurants that was willing to serve us lunch at 11 a.m. because we're already starved, and you know, when we're hungry, we get hangry. So here we are. We're going to be filming a video about Ocopa arequipeña y papa la Huancaína. Both are potato dishes served with sauces which are kind of similar but from different regions, so we'll be sampling those. So while I'm sipping on my purple corn juice known as chicha morada, Sam is having beer.
Yes, I'm having a beer, and I'm mixing things up today by getting a cristal. Normally I have Cusqueña, but I thought, why not?
Only half a glass?
Yes,
He's
and
pouring half a glass.
And I like it foamy.
Foamy. Really? Or you just don't know how to pour? That's the question.
Maybe a bit of both. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do know how to pour it, and that's decent beer.
Yeah? Better than Cusqueña?
No, but it's still good.
So Sam is going to be trying papa a la Huancaína.
Oh yeah.
And that looks fabulous.
And I'm getting some extra sauce put on top here because you can never have too much of that.
Just one potato? You're only grabbing one potato?
Well, there's three, so I thought I might share with you.
Oh, how caring.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. So the dish Sam is trying, papa la Huancaína, originated in the province of Huancayo, and that's how it gets its name.
Yeah, so let's talk about the ingredients here. So the main thing here is the sauce. I mean, of course this is a potato dish, but this is a sauce that is made out of cheese, milk, and rocoto.
And rocoto, that's the yellow ají pepper?
Yeah, exactly. And this is something we're very familiar with because it's often served at your aunt's and grandma's house. So
yes,
we love
this
dish.
Of that, huh?
Wow.
Good stuff.
This is easily one of my favorite Peruvian dishes. Like,
yeah.
I just love this sauce. And then Peruvian potatoes are some of the best in the world. So it's like you're combining this amazing sauce on top of really well prepared potatoes. It's amazing.
And the cool thing about this dish is that you can find it just about everywhere in Peru. You can find this along the coast, in the Sierras, and even in the jungle. So yeah. And speaking of presentation, this is usually served with black olives and hard-boiled eggs. And these are small ones. I think these are quail eggs. These are quite
here.
Little. So you like it?
Oh yeah. Maybe I won't be sharing after all.
So it is now time to try the second potato dish, and that is Ocopa arequipeña. If you have a look here, we can see the plate. And it's a little bit different from the previous one. This sauce is a little bit more green, but it is still served with the hard-boiled eggs and the black olives. And the two main ingredients to make this sauce are ají and huacatay. No idea what huacatay is. I've never seen this before. No clue. Not very familiar with the food here in Peru. But aside from that, the sauce also has a bit of onions, garlic, milk, fresh cheese, some crumbled crackers, and peanuts. So it should be a bit more crunchy than the one we had earlier. So I'm gonna grab a spoon here.
So time to serve yourself. Serve yourself up. Some of that.
There we go. Let's grab a bit more sauce so we can really taste it.
Alright, time to dig in.
Yeah. Oh, and one thing worth noting, if you don't want to go through the trouble of making the sauce from scratch, you can go to the supermarket here in Peru and they sell these little packs that have the powder already pre-made, and you just have to like add a little bit of milk and water and voila! Instant sauce out of a bag. But let's try this. Yeah, so this one's a bit sweeter than the one we had earlier. A lot sweeter, actually.
A lot sweeter?
Yeah.
Wow.
In the past, when I've had it at my family's place, it's a bit more crunchy. Because I guess they don't really chop their peanuts that finely, so you can still kind of taste them. But this one, it's very smooth and very creamy. And it's a bit spicier than the Huancaína we had earlier. So kind of spicy and sweet. It's good. It's good, but I still prefer papa la Huancaína. That's just a classic. So after that potato heavy meal, we decided, you know what, we've still got room for dessert. So we've ordered this beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's basically arroz con leche and mazamorra morada. So this would be rice pudding, and the other one's kind of like a purple corn pudding that's been thickened with cornstarch. And it has shredded coconut on top as well as cinnamon. So that looks really nice.
And the running joke on our channel is this looks a lot better than what you'd find at Wong's. Because I remember a year ago we tried
it at Wong's and everyone was horrified.
Yeah.
It was fine. So this is a fancier dessert. Still piping hot. Oh wow. That is good.
A lot better than Wong's, huh?
I suppose. We had it cold at Wong's. This one's like freshly made.
Can't beat homemade. So is it really sweet or?
Not overly sweet, but I mean it's like rich and creamy. It's really nice.
And do you like the half and half combo?
I wonder if we should just swirl it around. Time for price point slam.
Sure is. So that meal came to 81 soles. And I have to admit, we're keeping a couple secrets from you. First off, we ordered a big salad that we didn't show in the video. And the second big secret is that I got a second dessert. That was one of the best desserts I've had in Lima or in Peru. It was so good that I didn't even want to film it. I'm like, just leave me alone. Just let me eat it by myself. I don't want the camera on me.
Alright, so in US dollars, what would 81 soles be?
So you'd be looking at just over about under $25. So yeah, pretty good value and really tasty. Man, we are full. Especially me, I really overate in this meal.
Time to go walk it off. For today's video, we're at a place called Sanguchería, and we're going to be eating salchipapas by popular demand. We had all these people being like, if you're in Lima, you have to eat salchipapa. So we listened to you, we tracked down this place, and we're excited to be trying this dish. We've actually ordered two variations of it. We're having salchipapa, which is french fries with hot dogs, and we're also having choripapa, which is sausage with hot dogs. And we got both portions fully loaded with cheese and fried eggs. So that's coming. I'm expecting a lot of food. So I also got myself a drink. This is a fresh fruit smoothie. It's strawberry, orange, and pineapple. And I haven't had tropical fruits in a really long time, so pretty excited for this. Wow, that's fresh, a little bit tangy. So good. Este es el ají, ¿no? Sí. Sí, ok.
Muchas gracias.
Our choripapa and salchipapa have arrived. We've got the sausage one and the hot dog one. Look at those portions. That is a thing of beauty. And this is a street food snack that originated in the streets of Lima, but now it has spread all over Latin America, so you can find it in other countries, which is pretty cool. Different variations everywhere. And it comes with 4 different sauces that we've got here on this plate. We've got ketchup, mayo, mustard, and of course ají.
I think the ají is my favorite one.
Yes, mine too. So we may need to ask for an extra container. And this is like a really nice spicy sauce that you'll find almost everywhere in Peru. It's always a staple at the table. So yeah, really looking forward to digging into this. It looks fantastic. So let's just go for it. So on top here we have...
Look at all that cheese.
Yeah, that's a lot of cheese and some fried egg as well. And when we were placing our order, they asked us, do you want your egg like well fried or do you want it a little bit runny? And there's nothing that grosses out Sam more than runny eggs. So we got ours well done, sunny side up. So yeah, I kind of like my eggs runny. I like them juicy.
I don't like my runny eggs. It grosses me out when the yolk bursts and it's just like,
Sam's always like, take it away. I can't look at the plate, take it away. But anyways, I've got a little bit of everything on here. My French fry, my hot dog, my egg,
and cheese. Dip it into a sauce.
And yes, let's dip it into ají.
Almost forgot that.
Can't forget that.
Load up on that ají.
That's a massive bite.
A little messy.
Wow. That's good. Give me 1 minute. This is wonderful. If I were a kid, I feel like I would want to eat this every day. I'd be like, Mom, please, salchipapa for lunch. It's really good. It's really hot. I just burned my mouth when I took that first bite. But look at that.
Yeah, it's got a lot of ingredients that kids would love. I mean, you've got your French fries, you've got your cheese, you've got your eggs, you've got your hot dog, you've got your nice sauces. That's ticking off a lot of boxes for sure.
It's wonderful. And I have to say the ají at this restaurant is actually really spicy.
Which is
the spiciest I've had. I'm very happy with mine. So it is now Sam's turn and he's having the choripapa, which has chorizo.
So this is actually just literally identical to the one you're having, except that you can see right here, instead of the hot dog, we've got the little slices of chorizo. So I'm gonna do the same as you. I'm gonna get some egg, I'm gonna get some cheese, I'm gonna get some fries.
It's already spilling over.
Yeah, it is. It's a big portion. So I'm gonna
dip it.
I'm gonna double dip it. So let's do the ají and a little bit of ketchup. Oh, I tainted it. Tainted the sauce.
It's
tainted sauce.
Yeah. Ooh yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That is really, really tasty. It's like I definitely prefer chorizo to hot dog. So this one is specifically tailored for me. I love chorizo, so this is really tasty, and just the fries are done to perfection. Then you add the egg and cheese and those 2 different sauces, and yeah, that's really, really nice.
Yeah, and I'm also glad that we ordered individual portions, because we were initially thinking, oh, maybe this will be enough to share. But once we tried it, it's like, no, we each want our own.
I'll be eating all of this, don't you worry.
Okay, so this is what's left over. I couldn't finish my fries. Sam did pretty well.
Damage control, yeah. As I promised, I took care of mine. I'm not gonna overeat and eat Audrey's too, but you know, I did a good job over here.
Okay, and let's talk about the price for each of these.
So these were 18 soles, so you're looking roughly at $5 US, not bad value. You're gonna leave feeling stuffed if you finish the whole thing like I did.
Yeah, this is a meal in and of itself.
Absolutely. Try it if you're in Peru, especially Lima.
Time here in Lima, and we're at a place called Lucha, which specializes in sandwiches. So we've ordered a Chicharrón sandwich, which is like a fried pork. Should be really tasty. We're waiting for our food to get here, and yeah, let's get started. So our food has arrived.
Yeah, we've got our Banpong Chicharrón.
It's looking good.
Looks amazing. If you look down here, you really get a good tour of what we have. So we've got the bun.
Yes.
Inside, looks like we've got lots of onion. I'm guessing it's sweet onion.
Yeah.
Then we have the
fried pork.
And then the camote, the sweet potato.
Exactly.
So that's looks like a pretty awesome sandwich. Let's try it now.
Yes.
First bite. So good. So good. You know what, to me, what really makes a sandwich, I mean the meat's awesome, really good quality, but it's a sweet potato. I love
Sweet
having
potato.
Sweet potato on my sandwich.
That's an unusual ingredient, but it works, doesn't it?
It does.
Look at that. So it is now my turn to taste the magic.
Magic in your hands.
Wow. That's wonderful. I think my favorite part is actually the onions.
So are they more sweet?
Sweet. And I wonder if it has a little bit of vinegar. It's a little sour, which I really like. Or no, lemon. I think it's lemon drizzled on the onions. That's what it tastes like. So good. And of course, we had to get a side order of fries.
Yeah, because no sandwich would be complete without a healthy portion of fries. And these are really crispy looking fries. Like you can actually have the skin still on there.
Yeah.
So we've got 3 different dunking sauces. I have no idea what they are. So I'm gonna try them one by one. Let's try this one first. Ooh, it's like a tangy tartar sauce.
Ooh.
And the fries are really tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is ketchup.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? He guessed correctly once
But
again.
It's sweeter than North American ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. And last one. I'm thinking that might be...
I'm gonna guess mayo.
Good guess.
Bingo. Alright, and to wash it all down, I got this strawberry smoothie. Which is really like thick and frothy and sweet. You can tell they use fresh strawberries. It's really good.
So how much was it for that good greasy meal?
Alright, so that delicious feast of a meal was 30 soles, which in the current exchange rate is actually less than $10 US, and that included our huge sandwich, fries, and a strawberry smoothie that was delicious. So, not bad, right? Past 12 noon, which I think means it's acceptable to get a little boozy. We are going to be doing a taste test of Pisco Sour versus Chilcano. Both drinks are made with Pisco, but they're quite different, so those should be coming soon. And what goes better with Pisco than a little bit of cake?
Exactly. So we're getting an alfajore, and normally it comes in like a biscuit form, but this time apparently it's coming in a torta, a cake size. So that's something unique. We've never tried that before, so it's going to be pretty cool.
Has arrived. This is the Pisco Sour.
Yes, and this is my all-time favorite Peruvian drink. It's amazing. Can't wait to try it here.
So, how does it taste?
Oh. As you might imagine, sour, but also quite sweet.
Yeah.
So the Pisco Sour is made from a number of different ingredients. So you've got your grape brandy, the Pisco, which actually comes from the town of Pisco here in Peru.
Yeah.
Then you've got your egg white on top. If you take a look down here, you've got your egg white on top. A little bit of bitter, which
nice
is the brown.
Nice and frothy, look at that.
Nice and frothy, yes, that's the key. And then here you also have lemon or lime juice and often a little bit of syrup added to give it some extra bit of sugar and extra bit of sweet. So that is one very sweet cocktail, very refreshing on a hot day.
Yeah, and this is considered the national drink of Peru. Mixing it all up with my little seahorse. So I ordered the Chilcano, and this is a cocktail that is made with Pisco, ginger ale, and a little bit of lime juice. There's hair, there's hair.
You know who would really like this? Would be my mom. She loves ginger ale.
Ooh, that's a little stronger than I was expecting.
Potent.
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 Oh, I was hoping it would be a little bit watered down with all the ice cubes, but no. That's definitely got Pisco in there and you can taste it. Burns on the way down.
I might need to help you out with that one, huh?
Actually, the first time we tried Chilcanos, it was in Cusco. We thought we were going to a Pisco museum, but we got there and it was actually more like a bar. So we ordered, I think it was like 4 different Chilcanos with different flavors. So that was pretty cool. This one that I'm having right now is just the classic, basically ginger ale, lime, and Pisco. But you can get fancy and like make strawberry ones, cinnamon ones, and just, you know, different flavors. So we also got a little bit of dessert to go along with our drinks since we've already had lunch.
We sure did. How could we miss up on the opportunity to have dessert, right? So this is really interesting. This is the cake form of a Peruvian alfajor.
I already started eating mine while you weren't looking.
That's so good. I just absolutely love alfajores. Like, we devoured them when we were in Argentina. We like them here in Peru. And to have it in cake form, that's really unique. Yeah, like, it has all these different layers.
Yeah, thin layers, and it's super crumbly. And in between each layer, you have manjar blanco, which is kind of like dulce de leche, and then icing sugar sprinkled all over top.
Yeah, exactly. And there isn't that much manjar blanco in between each layer, so you definitely taste it, but it's not overwhelming. Really good though.
Lunchtime again here in Lima, and today we are going to be trying a traditional dish called Ají de Gallina. This is probably like one of those national dishes that you can find at almost any restaurant, but we're eating it at a place called República, which makes Peruvian dishes but kind of like in a casual fast food setting. So yeah, should be interesting. We've placed our order and that should be coming soon.
Cat friend. Hi. Hi, cat friend. Hi.
Okay, so the food is already here. That came very quickly. So let's have a look at the plate. This is ají de gallina, and And as you can see, it's kind of like a chicken stew. It's made with shredded chicken, and the sauce has a cream, cheese, and peanut base. And also the way they thicken this sauce is by adding breadcrumbs that have been soaked in either a broth or milk. And this is served with rice or boiled potatoes, and the boiled potatoes are kind of hiding underneath all the chicken here.
Oh, we do have boiled potatoes.
We do,
I thought we were just given rice.
So this is a very hearty meal. I'm kind of glad we're just sharing one plate because there's no way I could eat all of this. But yeah, let's dig right in. I'm just gonna try it with rice here. Look at that. This looks so good.
This is one of my favorite ways that chicken is prepared here in Peru. Like, I love this dish.
And I don't know if I forgot to mention this, but another key ingredient is ají, the hot pepper. But because it has a cream base, it's not super spicy. So I really love this.
And look, they actually gave us ají sauce too.
In case we wanted spicier, maybe we should add a little bit.
In case there wasn't enough, yeah, just dunk it all over that rice.
I'm not sure if that's how it's done, but that's what I'm doing.
That's how we do it.
So let's see if that has more kick now.
Another quality control bite here.
Quality control, that's what we call it. Now it's spicier, that's good.
Nice and creamy too.
Feel the burn. So it is now Sam's turn to dig in.
Yes, my turn. And what's really cool about this dish is, like you were saying, it's kind of an everyday dish, an everyday part of Peruvian cuisine.
Yeah.
And this is something we've had a lot at your aunt and grandma's house.
Oh yes.
So this is our first time to film it, but it's a dish we're very familiar with.
Yeah,
so.
we've been eating it at least once a week.
At least. At least. Okay, I'm giving myself a nice big bite here. For me, it's just the sauce that makes it. I love the cheese and the cream and the peanuts. Like, those are all ingredients I really like. And then when you add tender chicken to that and a little bit of rice, that's such a winning combo. And to wash this all down, what did you get?
I got myself a strawberry smoothie, and this is au natural, no sugar added. So it's not super sweet, but it's healthy. Good stuff.
Taste those strawberries.
So we polished that off in like a minute and a half.
Yeah, more like demolished it. But what was really cool about this was that it tasted homemade, even though this is kind of a fast food type of joint. The Ají de Gallina tasted homemade.
Yeah, just like what we've been eating at my family's place.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Authentic, delicious, cheap, and really tasty.
So now tell us, how much did we spend on that delicious Ají de Gallina?
You know what? It wasn't expensive. It was only 14.90 soles. So in total, that was $4.50 US. Really good value. And yeah, I'd recommend coming here because the food was authentic, homemade style, and we're satisfied.
Yeah, so this place is called República.
Yum.
We are back in Lima again. I think this is the
third round. Third time in the last year.
Yeah, so we've been coming here quite often, and it is lunchtime, so we're gonna go make a video. And today we're going to be doing Peruvian fast food. So there's a place called Bembo's, which is kind of like a fast food chain, like a McDonald's or a Burger King. So we're gonna go check it out and see what kind of burgers they have there.
Yeah, and they have some specialty burgers that are unique to that chain.
You'll only find them in Peru.
Yes, you only find them in Peru. So exciting times.
So our food is finally ready. It's not really fast food over here. It probably took like 15 minutes for everything to come out. But check out those burgers. We upgraded to the large size, and those are massive. I think we're gonna have trouble just holding them. So on the menu, they have two burgers that are Peruvian. So we got a lo pobre, which is this one over here. And then we also...
Lift up the a la pobre one again. Let's check that out.
So that's like a really thick burger, a fried egg, and we'll see what else once we bite into it.
And this one here, it's called Huachana. And I think it has some kind of pork. So yeah, those are huge. Those are like some of the biggest burgers I've ever seen. We also got fries here. They're like spilling over. For our beverage, we got chicha morada, which is a purple corn drink. Very Peruvian, so we had to get it with this meal. But this might be soda form, actually. I don't think it's just juice.
Yeah, and we got some special sauces
and some sauces. I got a little bit of ketchup, but I mostly loaded up on this. It's called ají, and it's a spicy sauce. We like our spice, so we've got 2 little pots of those. Now let's dig in. Okay, so Sam is up first. His is hamburguesa a lo pobre.
Yes, and it gets its name from the a lo pobre.
Lomo.
Lomo a lo pobre. And
which is a Peruvian dish that's really popular. It's basically a steak with a fried egg on top.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got tons of mayo on here. It looks like we've got a fried egg. And one of the cool ingredients, looks like we've got some fried plantain too.
Oh, wow.
So, oh man. And then we got the veggies at the bottom.
Oh man, and that's so thick.
No, it's massive.
I want to see you bite into it. It's taking a while to chew it.
Yeah. That is a nice burger. Like that is a very thick piece of patty, a piece of meat on there.
Yeah.
And it's a good quality too. I mean, it's a fast food style burger, but I would say this is more like a premium type of burger, premium type of fast food. Really, really good. And the egg is a nice addition. And wow, those fried bananas, it gives it a little bit of extra juiciness. I really like it.
Want to take a second bite? Just for research purposes, you know.
Research!
To make sure you like it the second time around.
Some extra plantain.
Plantain. Oh. Oh yeah.
Satisfied boy over here.
Okay, so it is time for mine. This one is Huachana. I had never heard of this before up until this morning. And I was trying to do a little bit of research online, and it would appear that Huachana is kind of like the stuffing for a sausage, for a pork sausage. That's what I got out of it. And it also has these like crispy little fries. I'm not sure what these are called in English, but I know you can buy it as a snack, kind of like crisps or chips. And what else is in there? Some lettuce. So yeah, let's just dig in. This is huge. I don't know how I'm gonna bite into it.
Nom 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 nom. That's a big burger.
Wow. Yeah. Really juicy. I'm not entirely sure. Like, I'm still not sure if this is pork or what, this orange stuff, but it's really spicy. So I like that. It gives it a bit of extra flavor. And honestly, I feel like you can come to Bembo's and just order the regular size burger and that would be enough. I feel like the large is enough for 2 people. So this is gonna be
We're gonna struggle to finish these.
Yeah. But it's also kind of cool how this has chips in it. I don't think I've ever had a hamburger with chips, like crispy chips. Good stuff. I'm usually not a huge fan of fast food. Sam had to convince me to come here, but I'm glad I did.
Okay, French fry taste test. So, one dunked in ketchup, one dunked in the ají sauce. We'll try the ketchup first. It's good. Yeah, just, you know, it's your classic fast food French fry with ketchup.
But I find that it's extra salty here.
Yeah, so they've really loaded up on the salt, which we like.
Salt and grace. That should be at the top of the food.
Now that is a unique sauce, and it is spicy, and it's got a real tang. It's good. I've never had this sauce, come to think of it. This is my first time to try it, and I instantly like it. So it's cool. I'm glad that you got a second thing of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now time for the beverage.
Chicha morada.
That's nice. Okay, so I thought it was going to be kind of like a fizzy soda drink since we're at a fast food chain, but it's actually the juice, the
proper
purple
juice.
corn juice. So if you want to have a look inside, that's what it looks like. And yeah, it doesn't taste like corn, so don't be scared if you come to Peru and you're like, oh, they're drinking corn juice.
It's really sweet.
It's really sweet.
And it's also
nice.
very refreshing on a hot day.
It sure is. Chicha. Someone still had enough room for dessert. I don't know how that's possible.
Not really. You know what? We're doing this for you guys. We're stuffed.
For the taste test.
We're doing this for the taste test only. So we got a doña pepa ice cream, and this is the doña pepa. It's kind of like it's basically like a cookie covered in chocolate with sprinkles.
Yeah.
And then down here we have your classic soft serve ice cream, which appears to have some sparkles in it. So let's try those.
Sprinkles and fudge. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. He approves. He approves of dessert.
That's a nice way to end things off.
Yeah, with something sweet. It looks like such a magical dessert with all those sprinkles. Look at that.
So that was a super filling fast food lunch. What did you think of Peruvian fast food and Bembos?
Yeah, it was like so much bigger than I thought it would be. Like, it's a massive burger. I'm just so stuffed. I think I need a siesta now.
And I thought the ingredients were really cool, having things like plantain in a hamburger. So unusual.
Really unique things that I would have never considered putting in a burger. So it was pretty awesome.
Price point.
Price point was 45 soles, which is about $12-13 US right now. So that included the 2 massive burgers, the fries, the chicha morada, and the ice cream.
Dessert.
So we have pretty good value, and it's time for us to go take a nap.
Okay.
See you next time.
Let's go to the apartment for siesta.